Greetings, citizens, and welcome to Unknown. It's been a few weeks since the last episode, and plenty has transpired in the world of UFOs, as is always the case. But today, I thought I'd spend a little more time talking about recent developments related to the military and UFOs. On recent episodes, we've talked about the seemingly heightened attention given to UFOs by the US Navy, with their revised UFO reporting procedures and their official comments about the unidentified craft that appear in the highly publicized Navy UFO videos. But today, we're shifting to another branch of the military. As you may have heard, on October 17th, To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science announced a Cooperative Research and Development Agreement, CRADA for short, with the United States Army Combat Capabilities Development Command. The company explains that the goal of this agreement is to, quote, advance TTSA's materiel and technology innovations in order to develop enhanced capabilities for Army ground vehicles, end quote. And yes, they do specifically use the word materiel here. I'm not mispronouncing material. Materiel, for those of you who might not know, is a word used to specify military material and equipment. The press release about this agreement details, quote, TTSA's technology solutions, which leverage developments in material science, space-time metric engineering, quantum physics, beamed energy propulsion, and active camouflage, have the potential to enhance survivability and effectiveness of multiple Army systems, end quote. The press release continues, quote, TTSA will share its discoveries with Ground Vehicle Systems Center, GVSC, and Ground Vehicle Survivability and Protection, GVSP, and the U.S. Army shall provide laboratories, expertise, support, and resources to help characterize the technologies and its applications, end quote. So, to rephrase this, TTSA has entered into an agreement with the U.S. Army. The Army is making military labs available to TTSA to enhance TTSA's research capabilities. And TTSA will share new findings and other research with the Army that the Army can then use to develop enhancements for its ground vehicles. For people familiar with To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, a thought that might come to mind after hearing this news is, I thought TTSA was a public benefit corporation. How does improving Army technology benefit the public or work toward the company's goal of making the world a better place? Well, here's the response from TTSA's Chief Operating Officer and Aerospace Division Director, Steve Justice. Quote, this cooperative research agreement brings additional critically important expertise that is necessary to advance the state-of-the-art in both our near and long-term technology areas of focus. While the Army has specific military performance interests in the research, much of the work is expected to have dual-use applications in support of TTSA's path to commercialization and public benefit mission, end quote. If TTSA's mention of things like space-time metric engineering, quantum physics, and beamed energy propulsion sound familiar, it's likely because these are some of the areas of research and theorizing conducted for the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program by TTSA co-founder Hal Puthoff and Eric Davis, Puthoff's chief science officer at his research company EarthTech International, a company with whom TTSA has a working relationship. Also, if you're wondering what this has to do with UFOs, well, Tom DeLonge did recently post to Twitter, quote, it's good to point out that To the Stars Academy is not a UFO research group. We are an advanced aerospace, science, and entertainment consortium run by a former program director of Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, multiple high-ranking defense and intelligence officials, DoD, physicists, end quote. So there's that. although the company is doing everything it can to be as transparent as possible in everything it does, you of course have to keep in mind that if the military is able to develop some sort of cool technological advancement stemming from all of this, that information won't be publicized for obvious reasons. The military doesn't work to enhance its defense capabilities, then share those enhancements with the rest of the world. If you want to see the details of the agreement between TTSA and the United States Army Combat Capabilities Development Command, the full executed agreement can be read at theblackvault.com. TTSA is clearly focused on working with the military, and this shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone who has been following this company. First of all, this is a company comprised of former military and government personnel and others who have spent their careers contracting with the US government. Second, Tom DeLonge, the company's founder and interim CEO, has stated multiple times since the company's inception that this is a goal, an objective he presented to high-ranking military officials when he was working to assemble his group of military and government advisors, to improve the long-standing perception of the military and the government in the eyes of the UFO community and pop culture in general when it comes to the UFO subject. Historically, the military has been the bad guys of UFOs, suppressing information, covering up UFO incidents, and actively working to make the UFO topic seem ridiculous. Who knew the military cared at all about how it was perceived in relation to UFOs? But if they've demonstrated anything, it's that they definitely love steering narratives when it comes to the UFO topic. In the past year, we've seen what, on the surface at least, appears to be an increased interest by the military when it comes to UFOs. How much that's actually the case is up for debate, speculation, etc. But there have certainly been a significant amount of headlines from media outlets around the world this past year related to the military and UFOs, most notably the Navy and UFOs. There's no question that TTSA deserves the credit for spawning the large majority of these stories, as most of these stories were prompted by press releases from the company or arranged stories with specific media outlets. For anyone who has spent any time researching UFOs, UFO history, and the military's role in UFO history, it's more than a little bizarre to see the recent shift in how some perceive the military when it comes to UFOs. I mean, here are things we know. We know the military has covered up UFO incidents. We know the military has spread false information when it comes to UFOs, and we know that the military has actively worked to discredit the UFO topic. They can essentially be credited with establishing the ridicule factor associated with the UFO topic. But now it seems that because of a few public comments about UFOs, which include carefully crafted, carefully vague statements, some people are ready and willing to completely forget 70 years of history. History is important, and with a wild topic like UFOs, it's especially important to constantly question things, question statements, question wording used in those statements, question motives, and perhaps even more importantly, avoid blindly accepting things at face value and avoid the urge to jump up, celebrate, and lend your support to something simply because you hear a pandering comment that feeds your need to have your established beliefs supported. You know, whenever I think about this dangerous mentality of focusing on specific statements while ignoring the entire picture, I think about an episode of Family Guy where Lois is participating in a mayoral debate.
I don't understand these people. He didn't even say anything and they're eating it up.
Lois, undecided voters are the biggest idiots on the planet. Try giving short, simple answers.
Sir, your question, please?
Mrs. Griffin, what do you plan to do about crime in our city?
A lot. Because that's what Jesus wants. 9/11 was bad.
I agree with that.
God, I can't believe how easy this is.
Mrs. Griffin, what are your plans for cleaning up our environment?
9/11.
Mrs. Griffin, what about our traffic problem?
9/11.
With regards to TTSA's recent agreement with the Army, I definitely applaud them for what they've managed to achieve. They are pushing forward with their research, forging more government relationships, and getting access to additional resources. That's huge for them. Whether we get to share in any discoveries they make is yet to be determined, however. Again, when you've got a contract or an arrangement with the government, things get complicated. Look at ATIP. Look at Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies. We have recent examples to look at to see how much UFO information the public gets to see when private companies contract with the government. Time will tell. But in the meantime, I'll continue wishing TTSA the best of luck with their efforts and hope they find the incredible discoveries they're searching for. As far as considering the military as good guys in the whole UFO world now, I'm not there. Consider me justifiably, cautiously skeptical. Well, citizens, that's going to do it for this episode. You can find more episodes of Unknown on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Subscribe on your favorite podcast provider so you're notified when we publish new episodes. You can always find this show at rogueplanet.tv because Unknown is a Rogue Planet production. RoguePlanet.tv is your home for all the strange. Big thanks to our talented friend and fellow Rogue Planeteer, Caleb Hanks, for the show's intro and outro music. Check out all his work at theclerkchronicles.com. Thanks again for hanging out with me today. I'm Jason McClellan. Do me a favor, friends. Always treat the UFO subject with the cautious and responsible skepticism it deserves. Question everything. Have the courage to form your own opinions. Keep truth as the focus of your quest, even if the truth conflicts with your opinions. And, of course, stay strange.